Let's talk about the MCP server that is now available to us. GoHighLevel MCP Server is a standardized, secure protocol that allows AI agents to read and write data in GoHighLevel without needing SDKs or deep custom integrations. You can now give agents access to critical tools like calendar, contacts, conversations, opportunities, and payments through a single unified interface. So in the community, in the post for today, I did add this article here as well as some other resources that we'll talk about. So definitely read through this if you're interested. But basically, what this allows you to do is go into your OpenAI account. You can use Cloud, you can use, or Claude, however it's pronounced. You can use several other tools that allow you to connect an MCP server. I can't even say it. And what this allows you to do is connect or pull in this high level data. So you imagine building your AI tools in the developer platform like OpenAI, not ChatGPT, but in OpenAI, it allows you to create these really cool tools. And then you can pull in data from your high level sub account. For example, you can get calendar events, appointment notes, all tasks. You can add tasks or tags or remove tags. You can get contact info. You can update contacts, insert contacts, create contacts, get contacts, search conversations, get messages, send messages, get locations, get custom fields, search opportunities, get pipelines, get opportunities, update opportunities, get order by ID, and then list transactions. So you can do all of that can be pulled into your conversation in OpenAI or Cloud, okay? Now, all of this kind of sounds a little bit complicated, but you see the step-by-step instructions here, and I'm going to walk you through all of that. Now, this is similar. What we're creating here is similar to the Ask AI, but the difference, let me let Martina in. The difference between this and Ask AI is the underlying technology, okay? So basically, HighLevel is using the same type of technology, but when you have your own OpenAI account, you get to choose the model. HighLevel is going to choose that for you. Okay. So when you have your own custom MCP server, you can build anything. So it's like a raw toolkit. And then with HighLevel, it is for a specific purpose. Okay. The customization and control, obviously, if you have your own custom MCP server, you can fine tune the model with your own data, precisely define its personality, integrate with any other software or workflow you want. With the Ask AI, you have limited control. So you're using the feature designed by HighLevel. Customization is limited to what Ask AI interface allows. The cost structure. So when you have your own custom MCP server, it is usage based. So you pay OpenAI directly for what you use per token. This is more cost effective for very high or very low usage. With the Ask AI, it is bundled in with your HighLevel subscription and the AI employee. So an example use case would be in your own custom server, analyze customer sentiment from external websites, create a custom chatbot for your website, automate internal data analysis and reporting. And then with HighLevel, it's basically write an SMS follow-up for this lead, generate a social media post about our new offer, create an email campaign for this contact list. Okay. Let's go into this help doc here and you'll see first the instructions. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to actually create a private integration token. That's a PIT, okay? So we're going to go into our HighLevel accounts, into your sub account, and you want to click here to create a new integration. So I'm going to call this demo, and I'm not going to add a description. I'm going to click next. So now we need to choose the scopes here, and you'll see the article listed here. Now, I wish this was easier, but here's literally what I did because we need to choose all of these different scopes here. So what I did to make this easier is I just copied contacts and you'll see we need view and edit. So now I'm going to go over here to the scopes. I'm going to type in contacts and I'm just going to click view, paste it again, edit. Okay. So unfortunately, this is a little bit time consuming. We're going to do this together. So view and edit conversations. So I'm just going to paste that in, view, and edit. Let's go ahead and add conversation messages. And we're going to paste that in, view, and edit. We also have opportunities. So I'm going to paste that in, view and edit. We also have calendars and calendar events. So I'm going to copy calendars. Let's go back here, view calendars, because you see it says view. And then we have calendar events, view calendar events. Now we also have locations. So I'm going to choose view locations, just like it says in the list. And then I'm going to choose payment orders. So it's view payment orders, and then it's also transactions. So I'm going to paste in here, view payment orders, and it's going to be view transactions. View transactions. All right, now we have the custom fields. So it's view custom fields. So I'm going to paste that in. We have view, and we also have forms. So view forms. All right. So now we've added all of the scopes that we want to use here, and I'm going to click create. Now it is going to give us this PIT number, and we do want to copy this. Okay, we're actually going to use this in several places. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my little notepad here, and let me paste this in my little notepad. Okay, you do need to keep that. All right, so I'm going to delete this when this is done. So if anybody's watching the replay thinking they're going to hack my account, good on you. Okay. So I want to close this out now. And you can see when we close that out, we basically just come back to this option here where we can rotate or expire. And then you'll see, let's go back. You'll see now we have our PIT created. All right. So once we have that, what we need to do is go into platform.openai.com. Now, this is the developer platform for OpenAI. So again, it's not ChatGPT. It's basically the brain of ChatGPT. So when you create your OpenAI account, if you don't have one already, you'll see you want to go to the dashboard and we can create a new project here. Okay, I just created a demo project. All you need to do is click here to create project. I called it demo. And then once you do that, we're right here where we're starting. All right. So what we want to do is click create. And when we click create, you'll see we basically have what looks like a custom GPT inside of OpenAI. So we want to click here and we want to choose MCP Server. All right. Now we don't have these options to choose from. We're going to create a new one. So I'm going to click here and now we need to paste a link. So what you're going to do is go over to this article and you'll see the link here. Actually, let's go up here. The link for this. All right. So you just want to copy this link. We're going to take it back to our server and paste it in here. Now here we can call it whatever we want. So I'll just say my demo server. And we want to paste our API key here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little cheat sheet again. I'm going to copy it. We're going to paste it here and connect. All right, so now it's pulling all the data in. It's basically asking us, do you want to pull all this in? We want to say yes and add. All right. So now here, we basically have created like a custom GPT. We could start asking it questions here about our account. But you'll also see here that there is a developer message, and we really want to add a prompt here because we want to let it know like what our location number is and all of that stuff. Now, if you go back into our community, into today's post, you'll see that I have added this article. I also have this prompt here that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this up, and you'll see all you need to do is just paste this here. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all of this and paste. And let's go back into our OpenAI. We're going to paste it here. Okay, so that didn't paste very nice, but if you just hit the enter key here, it did paste sloppy here, so sorry about that. But what you want to do is basically all these little brackets, you want to just replace with your name. So if my name is Julie here, my assistant name, and then my business is, let's say coaching plus. That is so lame. And then let's see, we have our business name and all of these things. Okay, so you'll see if you scroll down here, go ahead and replace these basic things. I am sorry that it didn't paste very good, but you'll see location ID. This is the important part. So what we want to do, go back into, let me go back to my demo account. You're going to go into business info and you'll see your location ID. So that's what you want to paste where it says location ID. So that's all highlighted. I'm going to add that there. Your user ID is going to be when you go into your staff area here and you have this particular user, you'll see the user ID is listed here. So when you go back to your prompt, you're going to go user ID and paste that in. Now, your time zone is that's going to be different for everyone. For me, I'm in Indianapolis, so that's what I have listed here. So I just put this as an example, but you could just paste yours in. And if you don't know what your time zone is, just ask AI and say, hey, this is my zip code. What is my time zone? And we'll just go ahead and delete this. All right, so go through here. Again, you want to give your assistant a name and you're going to want to save. And then let's call this demo again and publish. Now, here is the glitchy thing. We'll say demo one. Here's the glitchy thing about OpenAI using this. Oftentimes, you'll get this, and that's something separate, but oftentimes you'll go back into your demo server and that will not be there. Okay. And that is just a glitchy part of OpenAI. I'm hearing Claude is better for this. So if you ever update this and you get errors or something like that, I'm trying to replicate the errors, you may have to re-enter that again. And it's really super annoying, to be quite honest with you, but that's not the HighLevel connection. This is OpenAI. So if this is something that you want to use right now, just know this is an OpenAI issue. Now, here is when we can say, let's say create a new contact for Jane Doe with email Jane Doe 567 at gmail.com. So if I am sitting here in my OpenAI account, and let's say this is my assistant that I just created, and I want it to now go talk to my HighLevel account, and I want it to create a new contact, then I can basically just tell it to do that. And it's going to go into my HighLevel account, and it's going to create this contact. So I didn't fill out any like business name or any of that. I'm just hoping that since I added the user and the location, it will actually generate this. So you guys, this is definitely not a perfect system, but you can see here, okay, I'll add Jane Doe. Now let's go into the account and let's see if it added Jane Doe. Okay. So it might just take a minute. This is, like I said, this is also like a weird demo account, so it may not show up for whatever reason. All right, but that is how you connect your OpenAI here to your account. I really do want to see if it adds it. Hold on, let's try this. I will tell you though, and I really wish that I could show you my, okay. So it looks like that I already had a contact. Let's try a different one. I really wanted to show you my live one that I built today and I've been using, but it does have real contact info and I just didn't want to do that. Let's try another name. Create a new contact for Jeff Doe using email. We'll say Jeff Doe at gmail.com. Now, I've never used that, so we'll see. But I could ask it, if we're just talking about how would you even use this, I could ask it, list all the tasks that I have to do today. Or I could say, what calendar appointments do I have booked for this specific date? All of those things, I can pull that in from my OpenAI. Okay. So I do want to, I was hoping that, okay. So it says, got it. I'm Julie. I'll add Jeff Doe as the new contact assigned to you in Coaching Plus. Before I proceed, please confirm these details. Okay, but you can see as we go on. Now, here's something else that I will say as well. OpenAI is not very good with this back and forth conversation. So you see that it just asked me these questions. Now, if I answer these questions, it might forget that we even had this first part of the conversation. Okay. So again, we're at the mercy of OpenAI here. So if you really do, again, you want to use this and you want that conversational feature and you don't want the MCP server to disappear like it often does with OpenAI, you maybe want to investigate Claude, however it's pronounced. All right. I'm going to stop sharing here. Do you guys have any questions about this? What do you think? Are you excited about the future and what this actually means for us, Raymond?
Yeah, what is so OpenAI and Claude are two different companies, right?
Yes.
So why do you keep referencing Claude? And I know Claude has the MCP server. So
It's just how the different platforms handle the MCP server. And I'm just hearing this. I don't use Cloud or Claude.
Claude is almost Claude is taken over as my favorite. I know I was
Yeah.
in love with Manus for a while, but Claude really stepped up their game. No,
I think that's gonna
they've had integrations. I may have mentioned it one time, but it did an amazing job. Like I connected it to my Gmail, made all these connections, and I just did a prompt and says, search my email for emails from this one person. This is with regards to a legal dispute. And I said, build my case. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And it pulled out all the relevant emails regarding my and basically gave everything to me with a bow so I can give to my lawyer. And
yeah, that's a good use case for
oh
sure.
my God, it was so good. And then I edited all the text logs. I exported all my text logs with an app and I export and it first try, it was like it hit a home run. And it tied by date it correlated my text messages to my emails to everything and said, oh, on this date, she said this and she said that, blah, 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 and all of this stuff. But this is great, by the way, because now I always wish that Claude could integrate with my HighLevel as well and do these kinds of tasks, right? Hey, create a contact for this guy or whatever, or search the contact appointments or whatever. So I guess my original question is, I guess you don't know what they have. Why were you referencing Claude in the first place?
Yeah, it's just the way that it handles the MCP server. So it's OpenAI is very like basic. And so you can ask it questions, but and again, this is just what I'm hearing from other people who like use this and are way more experienced in this than I do. But they say Claude, whatever, is better because you have one, it doesn't forget the server information constantly like OpenAI does.
That's the
Uh,
new feature they have. They go across conversations. So
Yeah. It's also it just the like the settings that I just showed you where you click to add the MCP server and you add your API and all of that. OpenAI will just periodically just forget it. It'll just you'll have to re-add that information. So that's it's definitely an OpenAI thing. But people that are using this already, like building out their systems and tools, I am hearing consistently that Claude is better because when you, first of all, it doesn't forget the settings, so that automatically makes it better. But when you have that conversation, oftentimes OpenAI, you can ask it a question and then it will do it, or ask it to do something, it will do it. But let's say that you said, check all of my appointments for today and give me a list. And then it gave the list. But what instead of giving the list, it said, yeah, would you here's a perfect example. Let's just do this because this is really where I was like, okay, this is cool, but it's not that usable if it doesn't remember our previous conversations. And again, this is not the HighLevel MCP server. This is just OpenAI. Okay. But you'll see here, I just said create a new contact. Now, let's say that it asks for the country. All right. So I'm going to say, here is the country.
you could also probably put that in the prompt and say the default country is this, unless you do.
Yeah, unless you have people in multiple countries. But I just wanted to use this as an example, right? So it asked me for more information and it's saying, hey, what is this info? So it can create the contact. So I'm saying, let's see, he, here is the country, is what I was trying to say. Okay, the United States. So let's just type that in. So you see that conversation just disappeared? So that's the problem. Now it's going to come back to me, or it has been, at least on the one that I created. It comes back to me and it says, okay, got it. I'll use it in the United States. So it's wanting to create the new contact, but you see now it doesn't even have the first name. So let me just auto clear this or let's start.
First name is there. First name is there.
No, for I already put in the contact from before. Let's start a
Uh,
new. So what I want to do is look, let's say book an appointment for Jane Doe today at 4 p.m. EST. Now, if it comes back to me, because this is what's been happening, it'll come back and it'll say, great, I'd love to. Do you want to check the availability or something like that? And I said, sure, what's available? And then it just said, basically, it was like I never even asked it a previous question. So that's the
Plus, you
wonky.
got multiple calendars, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, but like I'm saying, this is just an example. The problem that I'm trying to point out here is that when you ask it a question and it responds back to you asking another question, if you answer that question, it will not remember your previous conversation. So, like you see here, it just asked me to give permission, and you can set that here if you don't want to, if you want to say always require permissions or not. You could also configure specific tools. So we have this information here. Got it. I can book one for Jane today. Quick confirmations. Which Jane should I use? Okay, so it asked me this question. That's what I was trying to.
Had to use a different name other than Jane Doe. And you got,
So what I'm telling it right now is this is the Jane Doe that I want to use, right? This should just continue the conversation like normal, but I'm going to tell it this, and then it's going to respond. And it's been responding. What would you like me to do with it? We never had this previous conversation up here.
so I guess the answer to my question is that this is MCP server specific. So what you went through with OpenAI, I can do that in Claude.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
And there's many others that you can use as well. Anything that manages an MCP server, you can use this process and create a private integrations.
You should
Now,
really
see,
try Claude.
it's making a liar out of me right now, but this is the intermittent issue that OpenAI has when managing an MCP server. So
Yeah.
if you guys check it against cloud, definitely share your experience.
Claude.
Cloud, whatever. Maybe it's geographical. Tony, you have a question?
Yeah. Bridget, this scenario, is it like to communicate directly with GoHighLevel or your emails? Because there's another way to connect it directly with ChatGPT to where it integrates better. And ChatGPT initially does remember everything. Not on the platform, not on the playground that you're in, but if you go into ChatGPT, you could integrate Google Drive, you could integrate your calendar.
And that is actually coming, the ability to connect HighLevel in that way.
Right. Now, when that comes, that changes the problem that you're having. But if you're using it to communicate, like for instance, I have my Gmail connected into GoHighLevel. So when I use ChatGPT's connection directly in ChatGPT and have it remember everything that I have inside of that GPT or ChatGPT, it makes the changes in Gmail, and that makes the changes inside of GoHighLevel because the Gmails are connected.
This is for everything inside of your HighLevel account. So this is to pull info from HighLevel, from your sub account, into your OpenAI. So basically, you're building a tool that will allow you. Now, this is so basic, you guys. What I just showed you is such a basic like setup and use case. But what this allows you to do is really limitless for the tools that you can integrate and use with your HighLevel account. So think about any tool that you would love to pull in the data from your HighLevel account. Tell me how many booked appointments I have for the day, or create this contact, or add a tag to this contact. Because most of us are already working in like OpenAI or some other tool. And you oftentimes have to go out of that tool to go into HighLevel to do these things. So what we're doing here with the MCP server is we're basically just creating a bridge that allows us to pull that data in. And this, like I said, is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I just thought of a really awesome use case. I'm looking at the
Let me go ahead and go to Keith for just a second. If you want to raise your hand, I'll come right back to you.
Okay.
A quick basic question. Using the platform.openai, we're not there yet, as I understand it, where a customer of ours can log in on their phone, hit the microphone button, and type in, add this contact with these notes and this tag and have it done yet. It has to be typed into the chat portion on an all
This is in
laptop.
the developer platform. So this isn't ChatGPT. So
Right.
like
So
the
there's no
developer
microphone.
platforms, and the platform is not for like non-techie people. It's really for developers and people who know how to set these things up. You wouldn't want to give this to like Bob the plumber and tell him this is how you add contacts to your system. Bob the plumber would just want to download the Lead Connector app and then access his account in that way.
Okay, thanks.
Raymond?
Yeah, I was just looking at the things that are available on there, and where you have view and edit conversations. If you like, say we do SMS campaigns and stuff like that, and sometimes we'll do one that has them reply like some word, right? Whatever, like you did with your contest, have them reply laptop, right? And you can have it search your conversations for the word laptop within a date or whatever, and it will come back with all those names. So you can put that together, and now you can do whatever you want from there. But that's just something that I'm working on now. And I'm going to test it out. I'm going to try it on Claude though.
Yeah, do it for sure. I was using OpenAI and I could definitely see its use cases, but it was a little buggy the way that it handled things like that, like I said, the conversations, and then constantly every time you update or save, it was like 50% of the time the settings would disappear. You'd have to re-enter them. So that's why if I was really, and I did create a Claude account, and then I started testing it out and I was like, I'm never going to use this.
It is, I'm telling you right now, it is what in the last 2 months, it's gotten so good. It makes better websites than Manus. It really makes and I did them side by side, and it really crushes on the websites and a lot of stuff. It's really good.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Gamma, the Gamma app? I just saw a demo today, and I have not used it at all, but it's pretty impressive with how it creates presentations. And
I've been using it for months.
oh, have you?
Yeah, months.
Let me go to Tony, and then Charles, I would love to hear what you think about it, because I thought about diving in for the presentations websites, but again, shiny ball syndrome. But if it's Charles approved, I want to hear more about it. Tony?
I want to hear Charles. I forgot what I was saying.
I'll go to Charles and
I
I'll
wanna
come
hear
back
it.
to you. Charles, tell us what's the deep.
I use it for presentations. So I haven't even used it for websites. When you said that, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But to put it in perspective, I pay for it. So whatever it costs, like I pay it, and it just, I'm not a designer. So then what I like about it, especially if I'm trying to do like a guide, basically like a guide or explain something in a presentations format, I can get all of the copy, throw it in there, and then it makes everything look nice. You pick a template, and then it comes back and it has AI images. And if you don't like the image, then you just tell it, this is what I want, and then it'll produce the image, and you throw your little hyperlinks on there, and it's
Do you
good.
think it's easier than Manus?
1,000%. Yeah, to me, I think it's easier than Manus from the standpoint of the one thing that I don't like about Manus is the credit system. I get it, but what that makes me do with Manus is I'm very cautious about what I put in it because I don't want to burn through credits. I didn't fall out on Manus. So with the Gamma app, I'm not concerned about that because you pay whatever it is you pay. I can't even remember. And you go in and you make as many of them as you want to. And I've created over 100 pieces of content, easy. And I can do it now. Once I have the copy, to actually create the content takes me less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just saw the demo of it and I thought, what I love about it more than Manus is Manus can create the presentation. It's pretty fabulous in
Yeah.
reality. But if there's anything that you want to change, that's really the hard part. Because oftentimes it doesn't get the size right, the words are running off the edge, and yeah. And if you say, hey, this isn't even a real word, correct this, it uses 25,000 credits to
Right.
go back through, and then it doesn't really always update it. But yeah, so
And
well,
it,
the editing part.
And now that you mentioned that too, and I always use the AI feature. So you can build this stuff yourself, or what I don't do. I just use the AI feature. So I take the copy and you can preserve the copy, or you can have them summarize it, or you can have them do like an outline. So depending upon what I want to do, I might have to preserve it or do a summary and all those types of things. And it's really good from that standpoint. And just like you said, I don't have as many editing issues because I'll typically preserve content. But even if I do summary or something like that, or I see it and I want to change something, you just go in and you make the verbal change. I always have to add different hyperlinks and stuff like that, but it only takes me a couple minutes because I already have the basic content. Then I never like any of the pictures. And when I say I never like any of the pictures are good. Like, don't misunderstand me. And I'll just be like, I want to change this. Oh, I want to change that. And then I'll just go into the generator and type in what I want them to change, or what more of what I want that image to be. It'll definitely be in the correct direction 100% of the time for me. And so I'm just really picky. And so more than I need to be. And then I just ask it to do that, and it gives me a bunch of options. I select one and I keep it moving. When I say I love it, I can execute something with that if I already have the content when it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired and I'm sleepy and I can't think straight. Like, it's that easy for me. Yeah, I love it. And then now that you said the piece about websites, I'm like, yeah, okay, okay,
Oh,
let me do
for
that.
real?
But I did, at the time, we were actually having a conversation about, and I'm glad it came back up. I was having a conversation about, hey, is there something I could use to create presentations or whatever? And so I looked through a bunch of softwares in order to do it, and had to pay for some, and I canceled before the trial was over and got my money back. But I went through the gambit of them, and by far, to me, it was the easiest as far as creating something that I thought was cool, usable, and could translate what it was that I was trying to do with the least amount of friction as possible without me having to be techie. Like, I forget that I have it until like I need it again. And then I don't have to, it's not a lot that I have to remember as far as how to use it or anything like. So it's very simple for me in that regard. So no, I definitely would use.
Do you have an affiliate link, Charles? Because now you've sold me on it. I was
Okay.
already interested, so I was like a hot buyer, and then you put in your sales pitch, and now I'm like sold. And you were the salesperson that pushed me over the edge, so I want to honor that.
Yeah, I gotta figure out where it is. I don't know if they got, I gotta figure out where it is. I'm
That's
trying to
okay.
log in there. I'm gonna log in now and I'll put it in the community to see what's going
Charles,
on.
that's
Yeah.
where those subdomains can come into practice.
True, no, but like for me, it was all 100% about this is what I need to run my business. Like, I don't, the other part is like I should, but I don't, like, because I'm making money doing it.
Yeah. Plus, it's a pretty inexpensive software. It's not like you're going to be breaking the bank with an affiliate commission.
But I do agree with you on that. I gotta figure out where it is. Do they even have that?
There's probably one. Sometimes they make it a little difficult for you
I'm
to
gonna
like.
ask Chat. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And if you don't get it before we're done, just pop it in the community. I don't let everyone do that, but I feel like you earned it just then. I want to make sure I or anyone else can benefit from that. Martina, I saw that you commented in there. You said that the main issue you're having with Manus is remembering from task to task. What do you use the knowledge base to store things in there?
I do, and I think I'm not sure how it happened, but basically I was inside of a task and I have my running task. They're starred on the left and everything. And I actually started a new task because, of course, I wanted to separate it because it was a new topic. And we went up, down, in, out, and around inside of this task. And when it asked me it said, can you provide me your links, your name, your this, your that? I went, wait a minute, we're still inside of my Manus account. You still have a knowledge base. Why am I having to provide everything all over again when I don't have to do that when I go from other tasks? End result was that particular task, for some reason, would not produce anything. It wouldn't give me the markdown files or whatever. So of course I went and lodged the contact form or whatever, but finally closer to the end of it, it just occurred to me. I said, do I need to start this task again separately? And what it said, I know AI doesn't have emotions, okay? I hear that. However, this joker said final instructions at the end of it because it gave me everything that I had asked it for in a way for me to put it in the new task. And it said, hey, prompt for a new task, copy everything below. And it said, here's your task title, here's the core objectives. It gave me everything. But the last thing it said was final instruction. Do not ask me to clarify any of this. Do not ask for my information again. Do not engage in conversation. Your first and only action is to create and deliver the 4 downloadable MD files. I was cracking up because I was like, it is sick of me and I am sick of it. But I did take that and plug it into a new task. It did it in no time flat. Gave me all 4 of the MD files, but it was just so funny because I was like, I know you don't have feelings, but I sound like you just said, when you talk to the new AI, don't talk to them like this.
It's so funny that you said that because I had it like curse at me the other day. It's like, I mean, it said hell, but I was like, don't curse at me because it's the location. It said it as what the? I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because you're frustrating the crap out of me, and I'm not cursing at you, so don't curse at me.
Yeah, and I was just reading that. I said, I'm going to screenshot and save this just in case ever in the future I need to come back because I promise you, it sounded like my Manny had a serious attitude with me. When you put this in a new task, don't do all this, that, and the third. But I did take it. I put it in the new task. It gave me everything just fine. And even Manus hit me back and said, hey, we refunded X amount of credits because we saw you were having a major issue. I was like, thank you, because I really didn't understand. And one of the things I said in my contact form was, let me know if I'm misunderstanding the purpose of Manus, because I have several tasks. I've never had this problem before. And yeah, it was having a problem going from, and this was the first instance, going from all my other tasks into a new task. It started asking me, what is my YouTube channel? What is my community link? What is my speaker link? And I'm like, wait a minute. We just did a new task. I'm not in a whole new Manny. So I just thought that's really the only thing that I have come up against with Manus. But I am interested now in hearing what you guys are saying, that there is another option out here for the building of presentations or websites, just so I can test and see what the differences are. Because again, Charles, I too don't want to burn through my credits. I pay for it and I don't want to burn through my credits. And sometimes, and I know I have credits in my, did I tell you I did that as a hack, Bridget? That I have Manny's for my clients' accounts?
Oh,
yeah, that's how I had to hack it, because what I had to do was go in through and utilizing the email address that I have for each of my individual clients to keep them separate and not burn up my own Manus credits. I have a Manus for each one of their accounts. So when I am working on their account, I go into their account and use their Manus, and that's how I had to hack it. And whenever I turn it over to them, I think, of course, I'll ask them about increasing it to a paid account if they choose to use it. But that's one of the ways that I can hack the system. But yeah, she got an attitude with me.
There was a time that I was talking to Manus and I was like, you are not understanding me. Manus, I need you to explain to me how I can get you to understand blah, 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 what I was trying to say. Like, how can I phrase this to you so that you understand what I'm trying to say? And it
Let me help you help me.
Yes. It's like, I felt like I was talking to my husband sometimes. I'm like, you're not getting it. How can I help you understand? What part of this is not clear? Please help me to understand what the issue is.
Yeah, because she had told me to go join some groups to get some raw data. And one of the things I said was, that's what I have you for. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time going on Facebook and going through 3 and 5 and 10 different groups just to see what speakers are actually asking about. That's what I have you to give me an idea of what the marketplace is looking for. And she prompted back something very slick and smart. I can give you all of the industry data and the industry jargon, but you'll need to actually speak to people to get their raw, real, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, but that's not how we started this task. And I'm not about to waste the time to go do that when I can put my content out and get that feedback versus going and trolling groups to try to get that feedback. So yeah, sometimes we have to clap back.
Yeah, Charles, I'm coming to you. But something funny did happen today when I was using Manus. I had a conversation going about something, and then I went off and did something else, and I was doing what it was helping me do. And then I got way further along on my own, and then I went back and I had another question about what we were talking about. So I went to the same conversation thread, but I didn't tell it that I had completed the previous step. And so when I asked it the new question, it said, sure, I can help you with that. But first, let's do this and this. And I was like, you don't tell me. But first, I just asked you a question. I don't need you to do all that. But I thought, oh my gosh, are you trying to micromanage me now? Like,
Yeah, sometimes I have to say, I realize I asked you to act as an expert in this particular industry, but we're not doing that.
yeah, I said expert, not know-it-all.
Yes.
Charles, thank you for waiting so patiently. Did you
Oh
get
no,
that assignment?
no, I wouldn't. If Manus popped off at me and I'm paying for these credits, I'm take off my belt. I'm gonna tell you that right now. No, so with Gamma, you have to apply through a partner stack.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I did it, but that's how that process works. That's all I want to say.
Okay. So I'll wait. I'll wait to create my account. We'll wait until Monday. So if you're not approved as soon as you get approved,
We'll
just
see what
pop
happens. Yeah.
community. And I'll check the community before I go create my account.
Okay.
I want you to get that $8 or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I ain't mad at it.
It's $8 every.
Man, listen, $8 is $8. A Big Mac costs $7.
Yeah, I love spending money on tools. It's probably my favorite thing to spend money on because even Manus, right now, Manus, $199 a month for 19,000 credits, and they double my credits every month. So really, I'm getting like 38,000 credits, and I never burn through them, and they roll over. And you get credits every day just for logging in and giving feedback, and they're pretty good about refunding credits. But I have noticed maybe a decline in the quality of the outputs that Manus is giving lately. I didn't know if it was just me, but Raymond said that.
No, it's not.
I'm interested in.
I've had to make mine dig deeper, and I've had to say, can we go a deeper level than this? Can we not make this sound so generic? Can we really specify what I've given you is what I'm understanding is the speaker need, and how can we develop this further? I've had to use different terminologies to get a different response, and it's always apologetic and it's always trying to XYZ. And I finally had to say, let's stop burning my credits up on your apologies. What I'm trying to get from you is, and I'll be real specific and I'll say, and do not ask me any clarifying questions because I'm real specific now in what I'm giving you.
I also love I hate, I almost said love. I also hate how it like over delivers. That sounds like crazy to say, but it does use credits. And it's like, I just asked you a simple question. And you just created 5 spreadsheets and a guide and a script for a video and a blog post or whatever else. I don't need all that. Just answer the question that I asked you. That's
You know,
really
I feel like, Bridget, what it's made me do is be really super granular about my ask and saying, even in my initial ask, what I don't want, which of course we'd never do before, because when we first started with AI, we were just so excited about how much it gives us. But then when it gives you all that, and forget that it uses your credits, but when it gives you all that, you're going to get overwhelmed because now you don't know what to do with everything that it just gave you. So I'll tell it sometimes, I understand you have the ability to give me all these strategic plans and directions. However, my audience is not going to do all of that. Let's really get down to a quick win for them, and let's get this done. And maybe we'll look at that later. And hopefully when you go back to the task, it will. But that's how I started using it. Yeah, stop giving me the presentation, the documentation, the source findings. That come on.
I think that it's good. I know what you're talking about, how the output has changed, but I really find that as a strong point for us because at the end of the day too, and I said this even in the very beginning when we started using like ChatGPT and things like that, the expert is not going anywhere. The subject matter expert is not going anywhere because yes, it does spit out a bunch of things, but you have to be able to, like you all have been talking about, look at the result and go, that's not right. Hey, what about this point? You gave me these 22 things. I'm really asking you about 13, as in point 13. And so then when you have the novice jump into whatever our spaces are, and then they're like, oh, I got ChatGPT or whatever, they're not able to function because it's going to give you everything. And the funny thing about me giving you all the information is I've given you no information at all. Because if I give you all the information, you don't know what it is. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. You don't know how to synthesize it. So you don't understand the context. And that's another thing too. I'll look at results and I'll go, okay, that makes sense in a certain context. Or this part is where I don't want to even say hallucinating anymore, but this is the part where you are extrapolating different things and you AI are giving me your analysis of a situation versus the facts of the situation. And a novice isn't necessarily able to distinguish the two. So I think it makes the space so much broader for us. And it just actually helps solidify our space as far as what I'm seeing. And it's funny, even when you were talking about what you were talking about today, I'm laughing at myself because all I was thinking about is what are the risks? So I'm at that point in my business as far as, okay, so then PPI information is going out to this third. So then what has to be updated from the privacy policy perspective? And then how long is that information stored? And then even on OpenAI, at that point, you need an enterprise account. Like it's a funny new world, but I'm enjoying every bit. So now I appreciate that.
And you can ask AI what you need to add to your terms and privacy
Yeah.
policy. I know. It is true. It's like what we were talking about maybe a few months ago about AI, how it's really a tool, but it hasn't replaced us yet because AI can have all of this knowledge that it's learning because people are teaching it with the questions and things that we ask, but it doesn't have real world experience. Like it can't notice that, hey, Martina's been really quiet during open office hour sessions. I wonder if something's wrong with her. Or Charles was just telling me something, but he sounded like he was really frustrated when he was explaining it to me, or just looking at some output that AI has generated and it just looks so like you guys all know. You've seen it.
Or how Frankie and Ray are bobbing in rhythm. But anyway,
Yeah, it's just
I've been laughing at that. It's bobbing in rhythm.
yeah, you just wonder. But what tools are you guys using right now most in your day? Is it like Manus, ChatGPT, Claude? Are
For
you,
me,
know,
I
ChatGPT,
haven't
but I'm excited
touched
what Ray
on.
said about Claude and the website.
Yeah.
So
I'm using
Claude's my
a
go.
ton of stuff.
Yeah, I'm interested in adding Claude. I had a tab
oh,
open,
Gemini
but
too. Yeah.
mostly what I use is the Manus now. And if I'm just trying to get a quick something, I'll hop over to the Chat GPT. But once I get my data for the next 30 days or the next 3 whatevers, then I stop. Because if not, we'll get into overwhelm.
I like temporary chats too. Within Gemini, within ChatGPT. Yeah.
oh, I never use those. But that's smart because oftentimes I have a question that probably
Just
should be
just
like
an
a
aside.
person. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even want it.
Yeah. Like political debates and things like that.
That or even just something about the lawn. I was in Lowe's on Gemini, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. It's in temporary chat.
Yeah. We're doing some home remodeling and my husband like tore a wall down and I was looking at the electrical and I was like, that doesn't look right. I'm not an electrician, but I don't think that's right. So I took a picture and uploaded it to ChatGPT and I was like, what's wrong with this picture? It told me everything that was wrong with it. Pretty
Oh,
scary.
wow, I didn't know that. Andrea said that Gemini Pro is free with Google Workspace. I'm definitely going to have to pull that on my phone and try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think I got that. That's why I got that. Okay.
So a lot of you guys, what do you like about Gemini that ChatGPT does not provide for you? What do you go to Gemini specifically? Almost everything. Is it your go-to?
No, ChatGPT is still for me my go-to. I have custom GPTs and things like that. I think of, and this is, yeah, Anthony needs to talk about this because Anthony got me on
Yeah, I
Gemini.
saw his hand
Yeah.
flew up as soon as we started talking about
But
it.
it's like for me, I thought about, even though ChatGPT is better now, but I thought about Gemini like getting real world information up to date, right? So then if I'm trying to pull together sources and things like that, or get a current, want to know about something current, then I was using Gemini for that. But now I just like it to a certain extent. I think I like the colors better. I know this might sound really so silly.
More user friendly.
Yeah, but I like the colors, and then I do have both of them on my phone. I was talking to ChatGPT, but for some reason, I don't think I like the talk feature as much on there because I had a really long conversation and then it lost it. And so I was like,
That is frustrating.
and you don't get the transcript of the conversation, or at least I don't. So then that part's weird to me. I actually like transcripts. I'd rather now just talk to my notes and then descript and then go into whatever platform I want to go. I know that's a long roundabout way to do that, but I just like having transcripts.
Tony, are you going to school us about Gemini?
Yeah, Gemini's killing it right now. Have you guys heard of Nano Banana?
I saw somebody posted about that, but explain it to me. What's
Nano Banana is like the new killer when it comes to image generation. And if you want to change your face and put a suit on yourself, it is like the ultimate right now. It's created by Google and it's inside Gemini as of last week. So you could upload a picture yourself and you can change your entire outfit using Gemini, right? Or if you want to give yourself a mustache, if you want to do a thumbnail and change, if you have current thumbnails and you want to change it, it's killing it right now with that. When it comes to coding, what I do is I usually, right, you guys saw how I use a Canva thing, right? Okay, I'll take that. And have you guys heard of Quinn AI? That's out of China and it's free, so you can milk it. You take your imaging and your coding and you can refine it in Quinn without any limitations. And you could just, but you do have that same problem. How when you generate, let's say if you generate a website and you want to go back and fix it, I've had the most success at going back and fixing things with Quinn. But that problem is across the board with all of the AI. Once it gives you the code, and how you upload the code has a lot to do with it. I recommend putting it in a file if it's a big code and you're wanting to change certain things, and then upload, instead of uploading the whole code, you upload the files with the code and then make your changes that way. There's a lot of China stuff out there that I'm currently using, especially for copy. And it all depends on my price points. If I'm using things that have tokens, they usually refine things really good. If you're paying money, they refine things really good. But to do a lot of the let work, I'll use China stuff and then just refine it in the stuff that I'm paying, and I'm done.
I thought you say China stuff.
Oh, there's so many out there. The truth is,
there's so many. Hey,
there's
let me
so
pause
many.
though. I just saw that it's already 3:03 and we have not even done our drawings yet. So let me make sure that I have, so sorry to cut you off, Tony. Let me make sure that I have everyone's name added. So if I do not call your name, definitely let me know. Tony, Charles, Raymond, Martina, Andrea, Frankie, Keith, Keena, and Maria. Did I miss anyone? Okay, let's spin the wheel. And for those of you new or watching, every time you join our weekly Q&A session, your name gets entered into the wheel. And let's go ahead and spin this and see who won that private consultation. Maria! All right, Miss Maria, you are the winner of the day. We have one more. Okay. I'm making a funny face here. All of you guys who have commented on last week's session, which is always the replay of today, will be uploaded tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So every week, you also have the opportunity to win a private consultation here. So you can see all of the people who have commented ads. That was the word for this week. All of you get your name entered into the drawing. So I'm going to use the same comment picker. You see, I have my YouTube video here. We're filtering for ads. And I'm going to go ahead and grab all of those comments from the video. So we have 16 people. I'm going to go ahead and expand this. And whoever wins this will also win a free private consultation. So let's go ahead. And it is Sandy Spain.
I know she's going to be so happy to get that.
Oh, so cool. All right, so I'm going to comment on this video and tell Miss Sandy that she won.
And I went to the wrong one because I went to IVR. Commented on that was I'm a whole week behind.
It was last week.
Yeah.
I won that last week.
That's right, you did.
And our private.
First time I won anything. I might win a Tesla when I go out to GHL.
Yeah, make sure there's so many drawings there. It's a great time. It's good chances to win. Honestly, it's so funny though. The time I won the Tesla from HL Pro Tools, somebody just handed me the thing because you got more entries if you invited other people to fill it out. So I really only did it because he asked me to, and I thought, oh, I'll just give you an extra chance to win. I had no clue. No clue. Never win anything ever. Okay, so
Twice.
I know. The next one I earned. That one was a complete fluke. Didn't earn it except entering the drawing. The next one I definitely earned. I want to go ahead and get to Maria since I haven't spoken to you yet, and then we'll go ahead and go for the day. I will send you the link to book your session, Miss Maria. And Sandy, if you're watching the replay, reach out to me in our community, and then I'll get you the link as well.
Thank you. I just want to make a quick comment about Nano Banana. Yeah, it does work. I started using it. I took a picture of myself and I'm like, I'm tired of this picture. It had a necklace on. I said, this is old. So I uploaded my picture and I said, remove the necklace, take off my glasses, because I'm not wearing glasses anymore. Take off my glasses. And I don't know if some of you, but I'm in a wheelchair and I stood myself up. So,
Wow.
oh, and
Wow.
thumbnail, if you go to my thumbnail from yesterday's video, it looks like me, but it's like people that know me are like, is she standing up? I haven't stood up in 100 years, but I didn't do it to do that. I said, let me see if it could do it. And it did. It's like, what? So yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
works. And you can even make yourself a video from there too, which I did a little bit, but so I'm
VO3 on there is pretty cool. I played around with it the other day on
Yeah.
Gemini, and yeah, it makes some really cool videos, and the lips are tied right in. It's so realistic. It's crazy.
yeah,
I tested that out a little bit, but I didn't really get all into it. I just didn't have a use case.
Yeah, I think it's only 8 seconds. You can only do it.
Yeah. So you have to
But
do
you
like
can take
different
your picture.
scenes and all that.
You can
Yeah.
put your picture and change it, and it's just great. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's always a pleasure. Fridays are my favorite day. It's like open office hours, but better. And everyone gets to see all the cool conversations that we have Monday through Thursday. So thank you all so much for joining me. We're going to comment below what should be the special word below this video this week to win. Should it be MCP?
Nano Banana.
Nano banana.
It should be relevant to
I
what
don't-
today's video is about. What should we
I
say?
think MCP is cool.
MCP? All right.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I try to be strategic with the keywords because full transparency, those comments I've noticed a dramatic difference in the amount of views that these videos get. Also, tons more engagement than other videos. And it's the specific keyword that I want to rank for. So always want to tell you guys my strategy, my thought behind it, so you guys can decide if you want to do this or not. So
You're the boss.
I try. It's just everything's evolving so much. I can't say if I haven't tested something, I don't know if it's going to work, but I just tell you guys while we're doing it, and then you guys can see, did it work or not? Who knows? Have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.